കഴിഞ്ഞ ശാസ്ത്രകൗതുകത്തിൻ്റെ തുടക്കം മഴയായിരുന്നു. ഇത്തവണ നമുക്ക് മഴക്കാടുകളിൽ നിന്ന് ആരംഭിക്കാം. ഒരു കാലത്ത് ഈ കേരളം മുഴുവൻ മഴക്കാടുകളായിരുന്നു. ഈ കാവ് തന്നെ അതിൻ്റെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ഉദാഹരണമാണ്. പക്ഷേ ഇപ്പോൾ മഴക്കാടുകളുടെ വ്യാപ്തി വളരെയേറെ കുറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നു. എല്ലാം നമ്മൾ മനുഷ്യരുടെ കയ്യിലിരിപ്പ് കൊണ്ട് തന്നെ. പഠിച്ചാലും തീരാത്ത ജൈവ വൈവിധ്യങ്ങളുടെ കലവറയാണ് നിത്യഹരിതമായ മഴക്കാടുകൾ.
From where did life spring? From water. From where do these cascades, the laughter of nature, come? From the rainforest. Forests today have become merely consumable products for us. Man is losing his intimate knowledge of the rainforests and their crucial role in the survival of all life. Even before the ascent of man, rainforests have existed for millions of years. The age of the rainforests that form 9% of the Western Ghats is about 50 million years. The thickness of the undergrowth of these forests, where moisture prevails perennially, is at variance with those of other types of forests. The temperature here is invariably between 20 and 24 degrees Celsius. A peculiarity of the rainforest is that it is thickly inhabited by trees with straight boles. A mature tree of this kind would be about 75 meters in height. The roots do not go deep into the earth. They spread over the topsoil and form peculiar shapes at the base of the tree. And the branches intertwine into a thick canopy, making the trees exist in a close-knitted affinity. These canopies form different layers. Over the tent of these canopies, the sun shines throughout the year. Only 10% of the sunlight is filtered down to the ground through the many layers. Thus, the permanent availability of moisture and sunlight keep the diverse trees and plants evergreen. The trees in different layers of the canopy together bloom, bear fruit, and put on fresh leaves. The different layers of the canopy flower sequentially, enabling the rainforest to retain its evergreen nature. The endangered lion-tailed macaque living on churuli and jackfruit is an example of the interdependence of plants, animals and insects within the rainforest. The king cobra, which preys on rat snakes, and the great Indian hornbill that carries on the pollination in trees like the wild nutmeg, the wild cinnamon, the Benjamin tree, etc., are species that survive only in such habitats. %80 of all the insects in the world are found in rainforests. Different types of insects, spiders have diverse shapes and colors, and innumerable microbial organisms are formed here. Since the rainforests are subjected to continued change of seasons, the canopy is always pregnant with pollens. The moisture that evaporates and rises from the foliage condenses around the pollens and dust and falls as rains, completing the water cycle. However, this rain does not fall directly upon the ground. On the other hand, it drips from open palm-like leaves, oozes down branches, and makes the earth moist. Each tree in the rainforest is a tree of life. As each tree is moist, thousands of plants and insects can be found in each one. This astounding biodiversity is the hallmark of the rainforest. If computed in money terms, the activities of a 50-year-old, 50-ton rainforest tree, like emission of oxygen, prevention of atmospheric pollution, etc., can be valued at 2 million rupees per year. The rainforest is a veritable storehouse of genes. It is also the dwelling place of the most ancient animals, plants and insects of the world. The richness of plant life in the rainforest is due to its topsoil or humus, which has been formed through a complex process taking millions of years. When the giant trees die, it is the termites which grind them into small pieces, causing a faster rate of decay. Falling leaves, dead animals and insects and other organic matter also decay on the forest floor. Mites are the first insects to reach this decaying matter. These tiny insects break down the cellular structure of organic matter, making it suitable for consumption by other insects. Of the thousands of tiny insects, mites hold the foremost place with respect to number and diversity. This is the microscopic view of the mites in a pinch of humus. In a study conducted by the Kozhikode University, 70 different varieties of mites were detected within a period of 3 years from the Silent Valley rainforests in the Western Ghats. It was also found that the excreta of the mites are 10 times more fertile than the organic compost they eat. Besides the termites and the mites, the earthworm, along with innumerable other tiny insects, help form the humus. Evolution takes place continually in animals and plants living in the self-contained ecosystems. The topsoil in a rainforest is like a bio-rich sponge. This soil is not eroded by the incessant rains. Instead, it absorbs the rainwater that filters down. The rainforest is the source of the perennial water that flows down as springs from the rock crevices. If only these life-giving waters that cool the earth would never dry up.
ലോകമെമ്പാടുമുള്ള കുട്ടികളെ വിസ്മയിപ്പിക്കുന്നതാണ് ഈ കുമിളകൾ. അതിൻ്റെ രൂപം, ചലനം, നിറം ഇതെല്ലാം കുട്ടികളെ മാത്രമല്ല മുതിർന്നവരെയും ഹരം കൊള്ളിക്കുന്നതാണ്. അപ്പൂപ്പൻ താടികളെ പോലെ പറന്നു നടക്കുന്ന ഈ കുമിളകളിൽ നിന്ന് ധാരാളം ശാസ്ത്ര സത്യങ്ങൾ നമുക്ക് സമർത്ഥിക്കാൻ കഴിയും.
A soap bubble is a fine sheet of soap solution. It is surface tension that keeps it in bubble form. What is surface tension? Since water molecules attract each other, the surface of pure water will be like a tense rubber sheet. This tension can support and keep floating a razor blade or a pin on the surface. This exactly is surface tension. When a cake of soap is dipped in the tense water surface, the surface tension slackens. This is why those matchsticks drift apart. Soap is capable of releasing surface tension. The surface tension of soap solution is 1/3 of that of pure water. This soap solution is ideal now for making bubbles. When bubbles are formed using ordinary water, the bubbles break due to its surface tension. This happens because the water evaporates fast from the thin sheet of water forming the bubble. If a few drops of glycerin are added, this evaporation can be checked. Glycerin, which is only a mild chemical reaction with water, binds the water molecules together. A soap bubble can be prevented from bursting for a longer time if it is kept covered. The most attractive thing about bubbles is their many hues. It is sunlight that reveals these magnificent colors of the bubbles. Sir Isaac Newton, the great physicist, had carried out extended studies on the hues of the soap bubbles. When sunlight passes through a prism, it disperses into 7 colors of the spectrum from violet to red. It is the same phenomenon that gives colors to the rainbow also. Different combination of these colors render the bubbles beautiful. Between the two surfaces of the soap bubble, there is only a thin layer of soap solution. When sunlight falls on this, a part of it is reflected from the outer surface and the rest from the inner surface. The hues are caused by the interference of the light rays that reflect from both the surfaces. The spring dance of these colors running riot transport children to a fairyland. For them, these simple soap bubbles are truly wondrous.
കിഴക്ക് സഹ്യപർവ്വതം മുതൽ പടിഞ്ഞാറൻ തീരം വരെ എത്തുന്നതാണ് കേരളക്കരയിലെ ജീവിതം. അത്രയും തന്നെ ദൂരം കടലിലേക്ക് നീളുന്നു മലയാളിയുടെ ഉപജീവന സഞ്ചാരങ്ങൾ. വിഭവങ്ങളുടെ വൈവിധ്യം തേടി കരയിലെന്ന പോലെ അറബിക്കടലിൻ്റെ പരപ്പുകളിലും നാം തുഴഞ്ഞെത്താറുണ്ട്. പുറംകടലിൽ മീൻ പിടിക്കാൻ നമ്മുടെ മുക്കുവർ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന ഏറ്റവും ലളിതമായ വാഹനമാണ് കട്ടമരം. ജനകീയവും പരമ്പരാഗതവുമായ ഒരു സാങ്കേതിക വിദ്യ.
Floating wood and the fishing line are the ancient fishing tools of our coastal areas. The catamarans gliding away to the outer sea carrying fishermen are the continuation of this old technology. The bygone centuries have not induced much of an evolution in its design. The catamaran is the means of livelihood for tens of thousands of Kerala's fisher folk. It is built using wood of comparatively lesser density. In olden times, softwood like Ailanthus excelsius, the silk cotton tree, the coral tree, etc., had been used for this purpose. But nowadays, the wood of the albizia tree is widely used. This tree is also used extensively in matchbox making and paper industries. Catamaran is hewed out of the trunk of a tree 5 to 6 years old. A lot of skill is required to hew the soft albizia wood into the shape of a catamaran. Its design is suitable for gliding easily over the sea. When the single hewed out tree trunks are put together, it assumes the shape of a catamaran, which resembles a boat.
The trunks would be kept immersed in seawater for a week. This tree has a milky sap in it. The trunk will be lifted out of the seawater only after all the sap is drained away. Then the trunks are dried for at least 2 months and then they can be used.
Compared to the other fishing devices, the catamaran is very popular. The cost required for its production is easily bearable by an average fisherman. The dried-up trunks are tied together in a particular manner before being taken out to the sea. When the single trunks are tied together with two twin corn-like end pieces at both ends and a broad base trunk in the middle, a complete catamaran takes shape. In India, catamarans are dominantly in use in the coastal regions of Tamil Nadu, Andhra and Orissa. There are about 10,000 catamarans in the two southernmost districts of Thiruvananthapuram and Kollam. It is the catamaran which is the technology best suited for this rocky coastal region. No machine power at all is needed for the catamaran. A catamaran requires only three factors: a design suited for the sea, the vigor of human arms, and the sails that gather their life breath from the sea breeze to brave any raging sea. The catamaran that plummets along with the daring fishermen from the Valyathura wharf into the tumultuous monsoon sea is his trusted companion in the quest for livelihood.
കഴിഞ്ഞ പ്രാവശ്യത്തേക്കാൾ ഏതാണ്ട് 7 ഇരട്ടിയോളം കത്തുകളാണ് ഇത്തവണത്തെ കുസൃതിക്കണ്ണിന് കിട്ടിയത്. ശാസ്ത്രകൗതുകത്തോട് പ്രേക്ഷകർ കാണിക്കുന്ന ഈ നിർലോഭമായ സഹകരണത്തിൽ അങ്ങേയറ്റം സന്തോഷവും സംതൃപ്തിയുമുണ്ട്. ഇനി നമുക്ക് ശരിയായ ഉത്തരം എന്താണെന്ന് ശ്രദ്ധിക്കാം.
Milk contains water and several other components. When the milk is boiled, some of the components separate themselves from the milk and form a thick layer on the surface. The water content turns into steam, and this steam, in its effort to get out, pushes the layer up, spilling the milk over the rim of the vessel. When milk is stirred with a ladle while boiling, the layer is broken and the steam escapes, avoiding the spilling over of the milk.
അയച്ചു കിട്ടിയ 5000-ഓളം ഉത്തരങ്ങളിൽ 3000-ലധികം ശരി ഉത്തരങ്ങളുണ്ട്. ഇതിൽ നിന്ന് തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കുന്നവർക്കുള്ള സമ്മാനം നൽകുന്നത് കേരള ശാസ്ത്ര സാങ്കേതിക പരിസ്ഥിതി കമ്മിറ്റിയാണ് എന്നറിയിക്കുന്നതിൽ വളരെയേറെ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. ഇനി നമുക്ക് ഇതിൽ നിന്ന് 5 പേരെ തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കാം. മോൻ 2 എടുക്കണം. മോൻ 2 എടുക്കണം. ശ്രീകല KM, ചെറുകര കുട്ടനാട്. ശ്യാം സുനിൽ CP, താന കണ്ണൂർ. ഹരീഷ് TA, പൂങ്കുന്നം തൃശൂർ. ജിംസൺ ജോസ്, വഴുത്തല തൊടുപുഴ. ശ്രീജേഷ് B, പാലാഴി കോഴിക്കോട്. കുസൃതിക്കണ്ണിന് ഉത്തരമെഴുതുന്നവർ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കേണ്ട പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ടൊരു കാര്യം, ഈ പരിപാടി സംപ്രേഷണം ചെയ്ത് അടുത്ത 10 ദിവസങ്ങൾക്കുള്ളിൽ ഇവിടെ കിട്ടത്തക്ക വിധം വേണം മറുപടികൾ അയക്കുവാൻ. ഇത്തവണ കുസൃതിക്കണ്ണിലെ ചോദ്യം ഞാൻ തന്നെ ചോദിക്കാം. മൂത്തോർ ചൊല്ലും മുതുനെല്ലിക്ക, മുമ്പേ കഴിക്കും പിന്നെ മധുരിക്കും എന്നാണ് ചൊല്ല്. മൂത്തോര് ചൊല്ലുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളിലെ കയ്പും മധുരമൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് അനുഭവം കൊണ്ട് തിരിച്ചറിയാം. എന്നാൽ ശരിക്കും നെല്ലിക്ക എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ആദ്യം കഴിക്കുകയും പിന്നെ മധുരിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നത്? എന്താണ് ഇതിൻ്റെ പിന്നിലെ ശാസ്ത്രീയമായ യുക്തി?
Please write to us on a postcard to Sastrakauthukam, Seedit, Thiruvallam, Thiruvananthapuram 695027.